What's poppin', y'all? Hello, hello, hello. My name's Everything Explained. This is Everything Re. Basically, this is Everything Explained Part Two because my original Everything Explained page, it's a whole story. So starting over. Anyway, um, today we're gonna be taking a look at what's next for Brayden and why Brayden cried and how he met Tommy. And also just making some Power Book Two Season Three predictions. Let me know in the comment section what you think is gonna happen to Brayden in Season Three.
So, deleted scenes is something every show has, and we know Power have a lot of deleted scenes and version of events which will give us a lot more depth to certain characters and possibly give us a different perspective to some storylines. But when it comes to these scenes, sometimes the actors themselves don't even know themselves which final scene will make the cut. And one of the deleted scenes Courtney Kemp spoke of in one of her Q&As was how Tariq went back to Brayden's house to get the images of Rick Sweeney, which he gave to Rashad Tate just before he took the stand. Because we all know Brayden was dead set against Tariq using them because of the backlash he would have had for his family. Now, he also had an encounter with the maid, and Tariq was able to cleverly navigate using his words, as we've seen him do so on so many occasions.
I think that's kind of BS though. How Brayden didn't want to help him. Didn't want to let Tariq use the picture with his dad and Sweeney. I think that's kind of bullshit because Brayden Tariq told Brayden to stay away from Kane, and Brayden is going out robbing jewelry stores, hitting licks with Kane, and it literally helped move Ramirez's body. Which in turn, when Brayden bought Kane back after they moved Ramirez's body, was when Kane planted the badge in Tariq's drawer. So in a sense, had Brayden just done what Tariq had originally said, this kind of wouldn't be happening. So I mean, he kind of owes him the fucking picture, in my perspective.
So that was one of the deleted scenes involving Tariq St. Patrick. But in this video, we're going to focus on two deleted scenes and events that played out from Brayden's character. There's one from Power where he had a run-in with Tommy, and one more recent which he revealed on his podcast with Michael Rainey Jr., which makes more sense as to why
Go check their podcast out. The Crew has it. It's fucking lit. They just had Method Man on there.
he took the stand and not Trace, but also how he could give us a hint as to who Brayden has now become and what we can expect from him in Season 3. But let's talk about the deleted scene from Power first. Now, Brayden only had a
Hang tight, my laptop's dying. I'll be right back.
handful of scenes in Power where he met Tariq at showed, and we saw them build a bond, and where they started to work together to move product. Brayden was also there, so Tariq could in essence remain a ghost behind the scenes. But Effie forced her way into the picture because she threatened to turn them in. Of course, she had her own ulterior motive, but we saw this trio beginning to form, which is something we've now become familiar with on Power Book 2 Ghost. But we saw Tariq stealing pills from Tommy's warehouse and supplying Vincent, and when Tommy found out, he headed straight to Chode to speak to Tariq. And this is probably where the deleted scene between Tommy and Brayden would have been in Season 6.
So what, you a big drug dealer, man, now? Oh, fuck. This is my shit.
So, from Gianni and Micah's podcast, and from a comment on Instagram which he replied to on one of my posts, he said he had a deleted scene with Tommy in Season 6. Tommy told him, "Get the fuck out, Bieber." And it definitely sounds like when Tommy went to visit Tariq after Vincent told him who he was getting his product from. So that's the run-in that could have been between Tommy and Brayden. But let's talk about more current events and something which could have added another layer to Brayden's character in Power Book 2 Ghost. Now, Gianni explained how there was a scene which they filmed with Brayden coming back to his room, putting a gun under his bed in a safe, and as he was leaving, this is the moment Trace walked in, and as Trace walked in, he tells Brayden, "I'm testifying, because your homie's fucked up," meaning Tariq, of course, and we all know Trace has never liked Tariq from the beginning. But when Trace came in and told him he was testifying and Tariq is fucked up, Brayden broke down in tears and told Trace, "Listen, if you do this," but I don't think Brayden was able to finish his sentence or reason with Trace, and he walks out. And the reason Brayden broke down was because he knows the consequences of the game. If Trace testified and snitched, then he would have been a dead man walking. So there was this real raw emotion.
Yo, Season 3, death predictions? Do we got Trace on the list? I know we definitely got Lorenzo. Is Trace gonna make it through Season 3? Everett too. I'm pretty sure Everett. I'm pretty sure in season 3 we gonna fucking see an Everett pack. We gonna have them special edition R.I.P. Everett shirts. Cause I swear I don't know how the fuck this nigga's still alive. Same with Sax. Nigga, Sax should have died in the original Power.
Ocean where Brayden broke down and punched a baby picture of him and Trace because this is who Brayden had become, and I think he knew what he was becoming. Along with Trace started to realize who Brayden was. So that was the deleted scene between Brayden and Trace, which never made the final take, which by the sounds of it probably would have been in episode 9, after Trace agreed to testify against Tariq St. Patrick, and after Effie did what she did. So with Trace willing to testify against Tariq, Brayden knew he couldn't let that happen. But this really would have added that extra layer to Brayden's character development and depth to a character who was now realizing the consequences of the game he was in. And he knew his brother Trace was in some serious trouble because he wasn't afraid to speak his mind about being taken by Kane in season 1 and thrown on the corner of Queens because the evidence was also there to back up his case. So Brayden wasn't about to sit back and let Trace testify because if anything happened to him, he'd probably blame himself. But Tariq did warn him.
I mean, what the fuck you even do this shit for, B? People out here dying and going to jail because they literally have no other option. I chose this life just like you, okay?
And both of them really did make good arguments. And we can look at this from both of their perspectives.
I mean, to be honest with you though, let's not cap. I mean, yes, like, you know, Tariq did choose this shit. He killed Ghost, but his dad is gone. Like Brayden's dad is a fucking multi-millionaire who, like, what owns like the family hedge fund. It's a little bit different. Brayden's family helped build Stansfield. He's a goddamn Weston. I mean, Tariq's. Like, I mean, I'm not copping excuses for Tariq because what he did was it was stupid. But this nigga Tariq, like, I mean, drug dealing is low key in this nigga's blood. Like, he was that nigga Kanan basically like molded that nigga to be a drug dealer, to be a hood nigga. So I mean, there is a little bit of difference. And on top of that, like I said, Brayden better had testified and fixed that shit. Because again, if he had just told Tariq, yo, Kane came through here looking for you, like then this nigga Tariq would have been on the lookout, probably would have found the badge. The whole thing never would have happened. That's another thing I'm gonna talk about in another video. But bro, what if Kane never planted that badge? Like, I honestly don't think it would have came back on either of them. Like, I know they were looking at Zeke and shit, but like once the body of Ramirez came back, like that basically like that let Zeke. Zeke was basically free at that point. Like he was no longer a suspect. And then I know Kamal Tate had the book that he was reading, which was Jabari's like last novel, and we know that's where he started like getting the speculation that Tariq was the person that Jabari was writing about. So he was trying to set Tariq with motive to kill Jabari, and then we know that's when they found the badge when they were doing the dorm raids. But if Kane had never placed the badge there, then even if like Tariq was supposedly like, which we know he was, but even if Tariq was who Jabari was writing about, like they wouldn't have had any evidence to arrest him or even give him a warrant out. Kevin Whitman said that himself. So I mean, again, like this is low key. The whole situation is it's definitely Kane's fault, and Brayden somewhat like is at fault here. And then on top of that, like I mean, like let's not even talk about the fact that Brayden is lying about what happened to Lauren. Brayden is like literally still trusting Effie, still like fucking not telling Tariq, hey, you know, you're surrounding yourself with a fucking snake. Effie is the one that killed Lauren. But season 3 is gonna be wild, man. Season 3 is gonna fucking be wild. Like I said, death predictions for me, I definitely got Lorenzo on that list. I do also fucking have I got Lorenzo, I got Sax, I have Trace. I no Sax is a maybe. But I do have Lorenzo, Trace, and that nigga Everett. Like I said, bro, hey, nigga, like hey, he finna fucking get used to a whole new kind of shooting. I ain't talking no NBA, no fucking college basketball shit. Cause I swear, dude, like Everett need to go. Everett know way too much.
Tariq was right. This game is no joke because you can either end up dead or in jail. But they did both choose to be in the game, and Tariq definitely needed to hear that from someone. So they both needed to hear what each other had to say. And
when an issue pops up, every minute spent searching for answers is extra toil, bringing your creative flow to a halt.
Cool, bro. Cool, bro.
and luckily they were able to patch things up later on in episode 6 thanks to Effie. But because of what Tariq went through and learning about the murders and helping Kane move the body of Ramirez, he was becoming aware of the consequences, so it was no surprise he took the stand instead of Trace to protect him, because he got full immunity regardless of whether he was the CEO, of course correct, on paper anyway. But the Trace and Brayden relationship is going to be interesting, because Trace is still someone who knows a lot of information, and we all know how dangerous that can be in the world of power. And
Do y'all think it's gonna come down to Brayden killing Trace? Do you think that's something we might see next season? Let me know in the comment section.
although Brayden was able to save Tariq and his own brother Trace on this occasion in Season 2, who's to say he won't be put in a similar situation again in Season 3? And someone who I can see putting him in this position is Kane. Kane is always someone who's on Brayden and pushing him to do shit, but this time it really could be a life or death situation, and then Brayden really would have arguably the biggest decision he's ever had to make. Because as they say in the 48 Laws of Power, any situation beyond your control is dangerous, and Trace Weston knowing all this information is someone who can't be controlled, because who knows what he's going to say at any given time, which is why he is one of my death predictions for Season 3.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think they said he's like a struggling cokehead in the first season or the second season, excuse me. So, I mean, yeah, like dude probably would fucking like tell a fucking book about what Tariq would write a book about what this nigga Tariq was doing if you offer him a goddamn like 8-ball, nigga, you know? I'm just saying, bro, you know, you offer this nigga some fucking cocaine. I mean, nigga probably fucking snitch on his own brother.
Along with Ev and one of the Tahadas.
Bro, yes. Can we run that back real quick? Like I said, bro, hey, nigga, bro, like I said, we'll see Ev for the first few episodes of Season 3, but like I said, by the end of Season 3, I expect this nigga Ev to be in the fucking sky.
Is why he is one of my death predictions for Season 3, along with Ev and one of the Tahadas. And at this moment, I'm gonna go with Lorenzo.
You know, it do seem like that, but I kind of been like feeling like we might lose Drew in Season 3. Am I tripping for that? Like, niggas really think Drew's gonna take over, but I feel like, you know, like Courtney Kemp and like all the producers at Power are like, you know, they're expecting us to kill off Lorenzo. Let's kill off Drew. They're not gonna kill Kane, and I doubt they're gonna kill Diana either. But Drew is kind of, I don't want to say he's expendable, but like I just feel like in the as Power's Book 2 Ghost progresses, like he out of all the Tejadas, besides Lorenzo, he's like has the least to offer Tariq because the story mainly focuses on Tariq. So, and I feel like Tariq, I feel like Diana is low key like in a sense like gonna be like Tasha to Ghost. Fucking Brayden is gonna be like Tommy to fucking Ghost, and Kane is gonna be like Kanan to Ghost. But all this to Tariq, like I just feel like they're gonna do a matchup. I could be completely wrong, but I just don't feel like Drew has much to offer anymore besides taking over the Tejada organization. But even then, like how long will that last? Like I think Drew's time is coming. Let's mark this shit. What's today? What's today? Oh, my phone's dead. Fuck, my phone's dead. Pretty sure today's like the 6th or the 7th, some shit like that. Let's mark down Drew. I got Drew, bro. I got Drew.
But on Brayden, there was this whole Lauren situation where he was forced to kill her, but Effie took this decision out of his hands because she knew Brayden didn't have what it takes after their conversation. She was also saving Brayden from turning into a monster himself because she knows once you kill, you can never go back. But Brayden already is on this dark path, and Gianni did tease Brayden is just getting darker and deeper into the game. I think Season 3 is Brayden's coming out to party for who he really is. You're gonna see, I'm telling you. So, just like we're seeing an evolution of Drew's character, which I went through in this video, we're somewhat seeing a similar development with Brayden, just slower, because Brayden's background and upbringing is completely different to someone like Drew, who grew up in the game, where his whole family is built around crime and the streets, and now we're seeing a more ruthless, cold, and savage side to Drew with the way he killed Kino and Lil Guap. Of course, he has his own weakness, which is Ev, and Brayden also has his weaknesses. But regardless, his character is definitely ready to take it to the next level, and they've laid the foundation in Season 2 with his rebellious ways with Kane, and him showing he has what it takes to be down for whatever, whenever, apart from getting his first kill, which I do think will come in Season 3. But there is going to be one big change when it comes to Brayden next season. He no longer lives with Tariq because his father removed him from Stansfield after everything that went down in court, and he put him to work in one of his hedge funds on Wall Street. But he can definitely make this work in his favor, because this could be their avenue into the real world of business, and they also need a new way to clean their money, because Course Correct is officially dead. But this could also turn upside down when and if Tariq finds out the truth about what happened with Lauren,
Which he
because
will.
he did put his trust in Brayden to get her out of town safely, but Kane and Effie both cornered him to do what needed to be done, and now he holds a secret of what happened to Lauren. But that's a breakdown of a couple of the deleted scenes, and one which would have really given Brayden a lot more character development and depth, but hopefully something we see more of in Season 3. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and let me know your thoughts on what's next for Brayden.
Hit that like
So
button.
drop all your thoughts down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghosts and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, also definitely check out my last video. Should be right up there. It's about, Tariq's worst nightmare, predicting Tariq's death possibly as well. So, if you're into the power shit, should be right up there. Definitely check that shit out. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all that shit. Peace. Y'all